Welcome back, everybody. Talking about domain number 4, billing, pricing, and support. Now, AWS puts a lot of emphasis on billing and especially pricing and cost, making sure that they have tools available for you to spend the least amount of money in your AWS environment. The exam does cover that. You can see it's about a 12% that it will cover. So there's a few things that we need to recall with this actual service as well. One of them is that you'll need to know about the different pricing models as well. So what are those pricing models? You have, let me draw that out, pricing models. So there's different types of pricing models within AWS. There is your always free. This means that there are X amount of services as far as, for instance, on DynamoDB, 25 gig storage per month free. Lambda, 1 million requests per month free. So there's always free services that AWS will have and give you X amount of that utility for free. Then there's 12 months free as well. And this is where AWS for new customers, this is for new customers for that first 12 months, they will go and say, for instance, on a T2 micro, you can have 750 hours per month. You'll have for free, and you can use that. Now, if you are going to use this, it also applies to Linux, certain flavors of Linux. There's the T2 micro, there's the T3 micro as well. There's a database as well. For instance, the database T3 micro or the DBT4G that you can use as well, up to 750 hours a month. Then there's third one is trials. Now, that's just one example on the 12-month free. On trials as well, you get 2 months free, maybe on some services. So let me go and add that. So trials that you can have 2 months free, for instance, on SageMaker. So if you're wanting to get to know SageMaker, you can go and learn that for free, a certain type of environment as well, first 2 months for free. So that's on the different pricing models that they have as well. Now, AWS, they also have different types of plans, and they have, for instance, a plan. Let me draw that out. So what are the plans? Before we talk about that, if I go and I start up an EC2 instance, that will be seen as an on-demand instance. Let's call that the normal cost that you will use for that EC2 instance. Now, you can go to AWS and say, hey, I'm always going to run some environments with you. So how about I create a savings plan? So you can go to AWS and say, I want a plan. And they'll ask you, okay, cool. What type of plan do you want? And you'll say, for instance, I want a compute savings plan. So you could get a compute savings plan. And you could also, if you're saying, hey, I'm going to use EC2 instances, you could get an EC2 instance savings plan as well that you can use. And again, these discounts that you get could be 72% for your EC2 instance savings plan, 66% for your compute savings plan as well. So different types. And then there's even one for SageMaker too. So you could go and say, we want to use SageMaker, and there is a SageMaker savings plan that you can use as well, and maybe get up to 64%. Now, when they say up to what they are talking about, for instance, if that is my compute savings plan and they say I can get up to 66% savings, what they are referring to is 66% of a on-demand instance that you can get that discount for. So that is when they say you can get up to 72% on the EC2 instance savings plan. They are talking about a discount off the price of an on-demand instance. And then there's also really quite a nice one that works. And I do say it works because I've seen customers use this. So this is instant spot instances. There we go. Spot instances. Now, what AWS says is that you can get up to 90% savings of a spot instance. That's a huge amount of money. Right? So you can get quite a massive amount of savings by using a spot instance. And again, most of the time I get customers who say, yep, what is the catch? What the catch is that they give you a 2-minute warning. So in that 2 minutes, they'll tell you, listen, if we've given you a spot instance and now we have a customer who wants to use some of our infrastructure, we could potentially take that instance away from you. Yep. What we could do is we could go and say that instance that you thought you had, we give you the 2 minutes, and thereafter we will make it available for somebody as a spot instance. So just be wary of that, but it does have a place in your AWS environment as well. So that is the pricing models. That's the different plans that you can have with them as well. Area that they do love testing on is pricing models. So you have different pricing models as far as the AWS support is concerned as well. Now, there are a few AWS support options that you have. Those would be things like basic. Basic is free. There is no cost for basic support by AWS. Then there is developer. So I could go and get a developer support plan by AWS. It cost, last time I worked with this, it was about $29 for customers to get a developer support. Now, you will need to know a few things. Some of those are, what does it get me? General guidance. General guidance is just under 24 hours. Then there is system impairment. If my system is impaired that I have with AWS, how soon will I get help for this? It is under 12 hours. Then there is also Trusted Advisor. Trusted Advisor is a brilliant service. I speak about that in some of the other sessions as well. It advises you across 5 categories as well. So that is, but Trusted Advisor, it only gives you some and not everything within Trusted Advisor. So that is for your developer and the differences that you can have with your developers as well. Now, the other one that we can look at where it now becomes a bit more expensive is a business support plan. Business support plan, and best thing that I can do with this is to take these and then just copy them over. So there is a general guidance, there is a system impairment, and there is a trusted advisor as well. But what you get with this is slightly different. You've got that system impairment, but now they give you some other things as well. If your production environment is impaired, right? So if you've got a production environment and that is now impaired, production is impaired on a business plan, AWS will say, hey, we will come to your rescue in under, and when I say rescue, it just means that their support people will be busy with you in that under that 4 hours. So they'll be able to attend to that for you. So that is on production system impairment. Then there is also, for instance, where they could go and say, you know what, there is production impairment, but then there is also production system down. So if my production environment is down, AWS has this commitment with business customer that says under 1 hour, one of our support engineers will be on the case with you trying to resolve this issue for you. So that is on business. Now, then there are also others that AWS says, hey, you know what? We will come and be there for you when you need our help. And the next one that we can look at is, they kind of have two. The one is where they say they've got a enterprise and enterprise on-ramp. This is customers who's quite big and they will be moving towards becoming an enterprise customer. So they're busy ramping up for that. And we can use the same kind of effect for these as well. There is definitely general guidance, there is system impairment, there is production system impairment, there's production system down, there is also trusted advisor as well. Just on business, you get, instead of some with the developer, you get the full set of checks with the business environment as well. So trusted advisor, you get everything with that. And then there is also your trusted advisor. Let me go bring this down, that you can then say, I want. There we go. So enterprise, and then with enterprise, you also on-ramp, and then you also get enterprise as well. Now, there's some slight differences between enterprise and enterprise on-ramp. One of the biggest difference is the fact that with the enterprise on-ramp, AWS gives you what they call a TAM, which is a technical account manager, but they now give you a pool of TAMs that will be able to work with your environment as well. Now the differences comes into play as well. You've got production system down with under 1 hour, but then they also have a business critical system down. And for that business critical system that goes down, what they tell you is that we will, and we'll just go and change that. Let's call that business critical system. And if it's a business critical system that is down with under 30 minutes, not hours anymore, they will come to your assistance on that. So the very same exists with your enterprise as well. But what you'll get with enterprise though is that TAM, now you get a designated TAM instead of a pool of TAMs that will attend to you. There is a designated TAM that is assigned to your environment. Designated TAM that will be allocated to your account. And this will be this, they call this the single point of contact for you. That will be the person that will deal with you whenever there is any kind of event that is going wrong. Now, this does come in where they talk about pricing models. You saw that 12%. They talk about the different plans that they have. Savings plans, which is your compute savings plan, EC2 instance savings plan, SageMaker savings plan. I mentioned spot instances in this one because it is also a service that can give you a discount on the AWS environment that you've got running. Spoke about the different types of support plan. Basic is free. This is just, there's a whole lot of online help available for you. Developer starts at $29. There's your general guidance, there's your system impairment and a trusted advisor, and the availability of that depending on the service that you are dealing with as well. So there is that one. Then there are that. Then there's a business one. With the business, you get under 24 hours for general guidance, system impairment, production impairment, 4 hours, production down 1 hour, under 1 hour. AWS support will be assisting you with that. And trusted advisor, full checks. Now, many times I've seen the question, what is the option that will give me the lowest price for support, but gives me all of the trusted advisor checks? That will be your business support plan that will do that for you. Your enterprise is, again, your under 24 hours, 12 hours system impairment, production down, under 4 hours, under 1 hour for production down, and impairment 4 hours, business critical down, 30 minutes, trusted advisor, full checks, pool of TAMs, technical account manager on the enterprise and ramp, and everything else that exists for the enterprise and ramp for your enterprise customers, but they get a designated TAM that will assist them on there as well. But the other nice thing about the enterprise that we have as well is that, let me move this back, this one over there, that business critical one. When something business critical is down, and I've seen how they operate in this environment now, instead of 30 minutes, AWS will come to your assistance in under 15 minutes. So in under 15 minutes, if you are enterprise customers, they will come to your rescue and they will come and assist you with those issues that you are sitting with as well. That is what I wanted to tell you on our billing, pricing, and support. Now, billing, it's important to know that there are multiple tools that AWS makes available for you. There is your consolidated billing that you can have with them, and this is where instead of multiple accounts, you pay one account. So you have consolidated billing. There is also the aggregate of use, where you could be having some discounts with AWS because you are using a lot of their services, or you maybe are using a lot of EC2 instance or a lot of storage. Though there is some discounts that's available for customers as well. Then I also need to mention that there are some services that can assist you as far as, and these, let me put that under tools. There are some services that can assist you with your AWS environment. Now, those services would be things like your Cost Explorer. Cost Explorer, if you ever see an exam question that says, what visually allows me to look at my cost, they are talking about Cost Explorer. So if you see something that refers to visual, there's also budgets, right? There is budgets that you can set up within AWS. You can say, this is my threshold, and you can get alarms on that budget as well. So you can get an email, maybe using a simple notification system to tell you when it's over X amount, or you can use the budgeting tools in there as well that can send you an email to say, hey, you are over your specific budget as well. Those are a few tools that you can think about when they are talking about, hey, what tools is made available for me within my AWS environment. Now, maybe in here as well, I would want to talk about Trusted Advisor, because it is a tool that you can use. One of the options in there is cost optimization. So you can look at that to see where you maybe are underutilizing your environments, and you could be reducing your cost with that as well. Cost Explorer, definitely, it's quite a popular one target for questions that you potentially will be sitting with as well. That is my bit on the section, and hopefully it has been of some use to you. I'll see you in one of the other sections as well when we whiteboard something else. Good luck with your exams. It's been a pleasure. Bye.